You surely agree with me. Running backs are no less valuable than they have been at any time in the history of football. They're still very valuable. Todd Gurley's absence from the Super Bowl proves nothing.
How did you wake up from that boring Super Bowl with this revelation? This is completely off. I don't agree with you. The running back position has been devalued for many a years. If you look at the running back position, one, it's a position through all my experience, and I'm a former running back all the way to the pro level. Even in college, damn right, I was a running back. Tilting, too. Should have got some snaps in the league. I'll let that go. It's a position where if you look at the position, you can find normal guys that can give you exceptional production. And it's weird because it may not last, it may not be forever, but there have been times where I've looked at our running back core and I'm like, we don't have a lot of high draft choices there, but we still are doing a great job in terms of running the football. I give you some numbers that proves what I'm saying. Only 3 teams have won the Super Bowl with a Pro Bowl running back on the roster since 2000. Think about that. This Tom Brady era, all this.
Since Terrell Davis carried John Elway to back-to-back Super
we can
Bowls.
go back.
That's where you had to go. But go ahead.
You want to go farther? Why you go in that hole? You know why? Because of the top 10 running backs all time, more than half, 6 of them, have never won a Super Bowl. Oh, the best running backs don't even guarantee a championship.
How many did Emmitt Smith win?
Okay, you can pick out the outliers.
Most yards. I'm just saying.
I love your outlier argument, but I'm just giving you the meat of the argument, okay? The meat of the argument is the running back position has been devalued for good reason. It's because if you look at it, what's easier to get? 4 yards going through 9 defenders, or just throwing the short passes like New England, and that's why they continue to win without necessarily having the great ground
Just
game.
because Sean McVay found it illegal to throw to Todd Gurley doesn't mean other coaches agree with that.
Even the greats like Walter Payton in the Super Bowl. Remember that game? Did he score?
Don't do that.
I'm just saying that you keep giving me outliers.
Walter Payton.
First of all, I'm talking about the game. I ain't talking about the name. I ain't talking about the man. He's amazing. But I'm saying there are moments where you can see the running back position is devalued for good reason. And I just gave you enough examples. Greg?
Thank you, Greg.
I'm not with you this time.
Oh, here you go.
I'm not with you this time.
All right,
and it's because the running backs, they do so much more in this current way of football, this wave of football. They're not just simply hand me the ball and I run through these 9 guys that you're talking about.
All right.
Todd Gurley, what he provides to that offense is more than just running the ball. It's a safety valve. And you made one of the best points in this argument, Jason. You said, and it hurts, McVay detoured from the game plan during the postseason, and quarterback Jared Goff paid the price. Yeah. He did. Because his number one safety valve, his vote of confidence relies with turning around and seeing Todd Gurley is behind me and understanding if I drop back and I don't have anything in front of me, I know Todd Gurley is either to my left or to my right for an easy check down. It's a quarterback's...
That was Cooper Kupp. That was Cooper Kupp's job and then C.J. Anderson's job.
No. It was. That's always been the running back's job. We look at it with Alvin Kamara. We look at it with Saquon Barkley. We look at it with Christian McCaffrey, who you mentioned, Ezekiel Elliott. You're telling me that you're only putting running backs in a pigeonholed space of running the football. There are greater assets to teams now because they can catch out of the backfield. And so Todd Gurley is one of the reasons why they value the running back position the way they do now.
Jason, I disagree with Marcellus. I agree with you, and I agree with you, Greg. 100%. The running back position is absolutely vital. Now, I'm coming from a quarterback perspective.
Give it to us.
And I love to throw the ball. I mean, I love throwing the football. Wide receivers are my best friend. But truly, if you get down to it, on the offensive side of the ball, it all starts with running. You're a defensive player. You know that. What is your first job as a defense? What are you going to shut down first?
Alignment.
No, you're going to shut down.
I'm still going through Pavlov dog. Alignment.
You're going to shut down the running back. You're going to shut down the running game.
If they got a running game.
If they got it, you're going to shut down that running game first and foremost.
Yes.
Now, if you've got a dual threat running back, we can go down the list. You mentioned a few, Greg, Zeke. You mentioned Christian McCaffrey. We can talk about
all those champions.
Mark Ingram.
Keep going.
Alvin Kamara.
All them champs.
Listen, they don't all have Tom Brady on their team.
I get it.
They don't all have Tom Brady.
Even when Tom Brady's not in the Super Bowl, I'm just talking about it. Why do you think there was an era where we started to talk about, and it's been in recent times, the running back position is the value. The question is, are running backs less valuable now? Absolutely, because you can win. You just said it. Tom Brady. Tom Brady makes household names out of no-name receivers.
No doubt about it. But Sony Michel ran the football. All 3 playoff games, he was at 100 yards or just below 94 in the Super Bowl. Other two playoff games, he was well over 100 yards. And that opens up everything else. And that's my point. The running back is a quarterback's best friend. If they ran the ball 18 times in the Super Bowl. Todd Gurley only ran the ball 10 times.
Yeah.
Jared Goff looked like what? He looked like crap in that. He wasn't ready to play. But
in a 3-3 game.
Yes.
It was a one-score game the whole way. Until the very end.
Yeah.
One-possession game until the very end. If they feed the ball to Todd Gurley early, and if they get C.J. Anderson in the mix, it opens up everything for Jared Goff. I think it was a terrible game.
I agree schematically. I'm just talking about the results. The results have shown that the running backs are not getting the job done in terms of helping you ultimately hoist the Lombardi trophy. It's been the quarterback and receiver position more so.
I disagree with you about the receiver aspect because we've overvalued these diva receivers.
Wait a minute.
We've overvalued them.
Let's stay focused now, Jay.
And we keep diminishing
the
running back position. And to me, this guy's article, and look, I thought he made some fine points.
He did.
And I think people are over. There's a reluctance to me to just say, Sean McVay, man, you blew it. Early in that, the first possession in that game for the Rams, I tweeted out, hey, man, Jared Goff is rattled. He's a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
If I can see it at home, you got to get this man some easy completions. They were asking him to throw downfield. They were getting a pass rush. Just flick it out to Gurley. Let him move the chains for you. It's the same thing the Patriots do for Brady without him.
Well, you know what? What happened is disguised coverages is what really rattled Jared Goff. So, you know, Jared Goff gets a lot of his communication from Sean McVay. They go up into the 15-second, right?
Sure.
What they were doing, New England, was just like, we're going to wait to 9 seconds and then disguise our coverage as there. So he didn't have his communication, so he was already out of comfort.
Steve, you would know better than I, but it's easier to me to get the ball to the running back out of the backfield. I don't think they can scheme that away from you.
Well, they can scheme. They can try to take different things away from him. But Sean McVay, what makes him so effective is that creativity of which we saw none in the Super Bowl. I picked Todd Gurley to win the MVP of that game. I thought that the Rams were going to come out and find all those different ways, what you were talking about, to get him the football because they had not used him in previous weeks.
Someone needs to be writing an article that the Super Bowl proves that these 33-year-old millennial overhyped coaches are overrated. That's what the article should have been.
He's not overrated. He got schooled. He did. He got schooled.
All right, Marcellus, I want to ask you this. Why because I think you have a theory on this. Why do you think Gurley was marginalized in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I do have a theory, and I'm going to save my theory for last. But I'm going to start with what's out there. The first theory was, hey, maybe he was getting benched by C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson came on strong after they got him off of the waiver wire, and he just outplayed Todd Gurley. That didn't land with me, especially when you just got paid $57 million, knowing the NFL and the business aspect. That didn't land with me. The second one was maybe he was hurt, and everyone kept it a secret. When you're injured and you keep it a secret, the NFL doesn't like that, and there are consequences for teams that have done that, and people have been penalized for keeping the injury too close to the vest so that you don't tip your hand to your opponents. But then I came up with my own theory, and I must say that this was given to me by a couple of individuals that I would keep anonymous. I am truly a journalist now. I got sources. Somebody told me, they said, you know what? Just look back at when things changed for Todd Gurley. And we all know that Todd Gurley was having an amazing MVP caliber season. And then mysteriously he was benched or taken out of the lineup for injury, right? And at the same time, coincidentally, he went on The Shop with LeBron James. And if you remember Todd Gurley's part of The Shop, LeBron was talking about the old white men who have NFL players and they have a slave mentality. Todd Gurley didn't say anything about that. Todd Gurley didn't chime in on that. But as you can see, as Martin Luther King once said, silence is betrayal. He did not. He didn't say anything. And I wonder, that took me to a place like, wow, that would be crazy if this is really a directive, like coming from up top. We've never seen that happen before. Oh, Yes, we have. I've been a part of a couple of them. One of them, Rob Johnson and Doug Flutie, where Doug Flutie won 9 games for us, got into the playoffs, and all of a sudden the owner said, sit him down. I want Rob Johnson to start a playoff game. From nowhere. Only won 1 game that entire year, put him out there. Malcolm Butler, you missed a team meeting. Whoa. Sit him down in the Super Bowl. That's crazy. We could look at situations even upstairs fighting in beef. A.J. Smith and Marty Schottenheimer, no real reason to beef. You won 14 games. I want to fire you. Why? Just didn't like how you worked. And I've seen these situations happen time and time again. Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, y'all remember? Oh, the face of the franchise should be Marshawn Lynch. No, Russell Wilson in these fine moments. So all I'm saying is there may be something that goes with a guy coming out in a public forum after getting $57 million from one man and then let someone else condemn him and not necessarily having his back.
What you're saying is interesting because, Kroenke, you're right. Just a lot of upfront money, paid a running back when everybody's saying don't pay running backs, and then the guy sits on TV and doesn't defend the man that just gave him that kind of money. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go all the way there, but here's what I will say. I was in Kansas City during the Marty Schottenheimer era, and they had a running back, Greg Hill. Mm-hmm. And Greg Hill averaged like 5.5 yards a carry every time he touched the ball one season. And he would go out there and break off a 26-yard run, and then you'd never see him again. And all year we kept trying to figure out, man, they spent a first-round draft pick on Greg Hill, and every time he's out there he's productive, but they won't play him. And it came out later, it was gossiped about and rumored about for a long time, that there was a major personal problem between Marty Schottenheimer and Greg Hill. Not going to go into what the personal problem was, but it's what separates a lot of men from each other.
I get it.
It can happen.
Well, I will tell you this. I'm not going to go so far as to say that that was why the decision was made and why Todd Gurley was minimized. But now, you remember back in the day, I played with the L.A. Raiders, and there was running back by the name of Marcus Allen. All right, Marcus Allen.
Yes.
Why do you think Marcus Allen didn't play very much?
Yeah, that was
Al Davis, the owner of the Raiders, mandated that Marcus Allen is not going to play. He's not going to be bigger than this organization. And now you can take it anywhere you want to take it. I was there. I know Marcus. I was happening to get buried at the same time by Al Davis. So the bottom line, though, is that Marcus Allen never was allowed to reach his potential as a Raider football player. And the defenses knew who the best running back in the NFL was at that time. It was Marcus Allen. But he was only used in third down situations. Now, this particular situation with Todd Gurley, I can't believe that the Rams would jeopardize or sacrifice their Super Bowl and put that on the line based on what you're talking about.
Look, it's a theory that came from a couple of people, and I said, interesting, but I need to put it out there just because we just saw last year in the Super Bowl a cornerback who had played 97% of all snaps all of a sudden just find himself in the doghouse in the biggest moments in a game where you were getting lit up in pass defense.
Exactly right.